Goku floats in the calm sky of Beerus's world, chest rising with slow, steady breaths after harsh training. He feels a strange scream of energy from very far away, like a whole world crying out in fear. Whis tells him it is another universe, one ruled by strange gods, heroes, and a dark will that wants to crush all choice. Goku cannot ignore it, even when Beerus warns that punching a hole between universes will tear at space and drain his life each time he uses that path. He gathers Ultra Instinct around his body, locks onto that distant key of fear, and vanishes in a flash of silver and white as the barrier between universes cracks. The sky over Metropolis splits open at noon. People on the streets look up from screens and coffee cups. Clouds peel back in a clean line, like someone zipped them open. Light spills through, bright and silver, too straight to be the sun. Security cameras on the Daily Planet catch the first frame as something falls out of the tear. It is a man in an orange gi, glowing with white and blue fire. Goku drops fast, much too fast. Wind roars around him. His ki flares on instinct, a tight sphere wrapping his body. If he hits the city at this speed, blocks will vanish. He pushes Ultra Instinct to shape the energy outward, turning his fall into a wide shield. He hits the air above the tallest buildings, and the shockwave blasts out. Windows crack, cars slam sideways. A news chopper spins as its cameras glitch. Goku grits his teeth and pours more power into the shield, bending the blast upward toward the torn sky instead of down toward the streets. The sphere of force blooms like a small, bright star above Metropolis, then fades. Goku hovers there, hair wild, chest heaving. His vision swims for a second. His arms feel heavy. He kept the city safe, but the landing took a lot out of him. Codex note: Ultra Instinct used to punch through a multiversal barrier and blunt a city-killing fall. Drains Goku's stamina faster than any normal fight. He looks down. Metropolis waits under him. White towers, shining glass. The big golden globe of the Daily Planet building. Tiny dots of people run and point and shout. He can feel thousands of key signatures, all frightened, all alive. Good, he mutters. Nobody died. A red and blue streak rises from the far side of the city. Goku turns his head. The streak slows and becomes a man in a blue suit with a red cape. The symbol on his chest is a sharp, simple S. His eyes glow faintly with red that does not burn. Superman stops a short distance away, hanging in the air with no effort at all. "I'm Superman," he says, voice calm but firm. "You just tore open the sky above my city. Who are you, and what did you do?" Goku gives a small, quick smile. "I'm Goku," he says. "I'm a Saiyan. I came from far away. Another universe, I think. Something bad is reaching out from here. I felt it. I had to come." Superman studies him. He hears the heartbeat. Fast, tired but honest. He sees the way Goku's aura flickers, like a candle after a gust, not like a bomb about to go off. "Ahead of you, Clark," a voice says in Superman's ear. It is Batman, watching from the watchtower in orbit. The Justice League space station floats high above, silent and invisible to most eyes. Around him, screens show feeds from Metropolis, satellites, and strange readings from the torn sky. "He's not from any file," Batman says. "That crack in the atmosphere is emitting unknown energy. It matches nothing from Apocalypse, nothing from the Speed Force, nothing from known magic. We are blind." On another screen, the President of the United States leans forward in the Oval Office. Tie loose, face pale. "Is Metropolis safe?" the President asks the small camera set into the table. "Is Superman in control?" Superman glances at Goku, then at the scar in the sky. "I'm still in control," Superman tells the president through his communicator. "But we have a visitor, very strong, very tired. I'll handle it." On a mystical plane few can see, the Amazon's oracle on Themyscira stares at a wave of silver light moving across her pool. She touches the surface, feels the rip where Goku broke through. It shivers like a wound. "The wall between worlds bleeds," she whispers. In the air, Superman lifts his chin. "You said something bad is here," he tells Goku. "Explain." Goku looks at the crack above them. It is smaller now, but not gone. Energy leaks from it in slow threads, like smoke that has forgotten how to fade. "In my universe," Goku says, "I train with gods. I push my body and my spirit. Today, while I trained, I felt a pain that wasn't mine. It came from this place. I don't know the words, but it felt like someone trying to crush a whole world's will." Superman's jaw tightens. "Darkseid," he says. Batman makes a note on his screen, but he already knows. "We have a problem," Batman says into the Justice League channel. "Apocalypse will feel that breach. If Darkseid thinks the source wall is weak, he will test it. This stranger may have lit a beacon." "Darkseid?" Goku asks. "Who's that?" "A tyrant," Superman says. "A god of a planet called Apocalypse. He wants to erase choice. He calls it the anti-life equation. We've stopped him before, but if he can walk through that crack you opened." Superman looks down. Sirens wail. People still run. "You risked a lot to come here," he says. "And you saved my city with that landing. Thank you. But you may have put this world in more danger. We need to know exactly how you got here." Goku shrugs, a little embarrassed. "I followed the fear," he says. "I focused on it. My body knows instant transmission. It lets me jump to Kai I can feel. Whis helped me push it further, between universes. But he said it would hurt the walls. He said I shouldn't do it too often. He was right. My chest feels weird. Far above them, in the Watchtower's main room, Wonder Woman folds her arms. Her armor gleams under the station's soft lights. Her lasso rests at her hip, warm with truth. He speaks plainly, she says to Batman and the others. If he meant harm, he would not be so open. That's what worries me, Batman replies. Someone that strong, that naive, is a weapon waiting for a hand to guide it. The Flash jogs in place by the console, even though they are in space and there is nowhere to go. So we invite him to the team, Barry Allen says, or we punch him, because I really don't want to punch him. He looks like the kind of guy who turns Central City into a crater when he sneezes. Neither, Batman says. We test him, and we watch the sky. Down in Metropolis, a deep boom rolls across the air. Goku and Superman both turn their heads at the same time. The crack in the sky pulses once, like a slow heartbeat. Then it spits out something new. Dark cubes of metal appear in the air, humming, spinning in place. They glow with a sick green fire along their edges. People scream as one drops toward the city, but Superman blasts upward, catches it, and hurls it back toward the sky. The cube opens. A boom tube tears open above Metropolis. From it pour winged shapes with burning eyes and twisted armor. They shriek as they dive, guns and blades ready. Parademons. The same happens above Gotham, Central City, and over the shore near Themyscira. The Watchtower alarms howl as multiple boom tubes open at once across Earth. Full League deploy, Batman orders. Apocalypse strike force, multiple insertion points. They use the breach as a lock-on. Then we close it, Goku says. He flares his key. The tired flicker around him becomes a steady blaze again. His body protests, but he ignores it. He has seen what happens when invaders pour out of portals onto peaceful worlds. He will not allow it. "You can fight?" Superman asks, already knowing the answer. Goku grins, even as sweat runs down his temple. "Yeah," he says, "fighting's kind of my thing, but I like keeping people alive even more." "Then we fight together," Superman says. They launch. They move in 2 streaks, red and blue, orange and white. They tear into the first wave of parademons. Superman smashes one with a single punch, then catches another and crushes its gun to scrap. Goku appears in front of 3 at once, palms open, and knocks them aside with sharp, controlled blows that send them into empty sky instead of buildings. On the ground, the people of Metropolis watch 2 gods draw the fire away. In Gotham, the shadows answer. Batman swings from his Batwing as it dives through a swarm of parademons near Wayne Tower. He throws an EMP batarang that explodes, scrambling apocalyptian tech. Parademons fall as their armor shorts out. In Themyscira, Wonder Woman leads Amazons in a bright clash of steel and laser fire on the beach. Her sword bites through parademon armor. Her bracelets deflect their blasts into the sea. In Central City, the Flash vibrates through incoming fire and pulls wounded people to safety in streaks of lightning. In the Watchtower, Martian Manhunter links minds, sending quick pulses of information to all Leaguers at once. Stranger in the sky, he sends into Superman's mind as he sees Goku fight. Very high energy output. Not magic, not Kryptonian, not apocalyptian. Something like life force shaped by will. Goku teleports in front of a parademon that aims at a fleeing family. He appears between them and the blast, takes the shot on his crossed arms, then knocks the attacker into the boom tube with a spinning kick. His body hums with effort. He feels the hole he made between universes pulling on him, like a weight on his bones. He pushes more power into his aura and flies toward the cube that anchors the portal. "Superman," he calls out. "Hit the other one. I'll take this side." Superman nods once and rockets toward a second cube. Goku cups his hands at his side. Me." His voice carries over the city. Energy gathers between his palms, blue and bright, fed by the same core that let him break reality to get here. It feels heavy. It feels wrong, like drawing from a bank he does not fully own. Me. The cube's green lines pulse faster as it senses the charge. More parademons pour out, trying to reach him before he fires. Goku thrusts his hands forward. The Kamehameha wave roars out, a beam of blue that smashes into the cube. It tears through the green lines, through the dark alien metal, and then into the edge of the boom tube itself. The portal buckles. For a moment, Goku feels something on the other side. A mind cold and patient, watching him through the crack between universes. It tastes his energy. It learns. Darkseid. Then the boom tube collapses above Metropolis, chopping off the flow of parademons. The cube shatters into dust. Superman does the same on the far side, crushing his cube and closing another portal with raw force and heat vision. Metropolis is not safe yet, but the wave has broken. Goku drops to one knee in the air for a second. His lungs burn. His arms shake. That blast took more than it should have. He has fired bigger Kamehamehas with less pain. Something about this universe and the path he used to reach it is taxing him more with each big move. "Not good," he muttered. "Gotta pace it." He straightens when he hears Superman's voice. "You did well," Superman says, as he flies up to him. "Metropolis owes you, but this was just the first punch. Darkseid never stops at scouts." Goku nods. "Then I won't either." On the ground, emergency crews move in. People look up and see 2 figures in the sky, one in red and blue, one in orange and blue, both lit by the afternoon sun. A new legend begins to form in whispers. Up to now, Goku has torn through the wall between universes, landed hard in Metropolis, helped Superman stop a first wave of parademons, and shown that his power carries a heavy cost in this new world. Night falls on Metropolis, but the sky never really grows dark. The scar Goku left when he entered this universe glows faintly above the city, barely visible to human eyes but very clear to those who can see energy. It is a thin, bright line in the shape of a crack, slowly leaking strange light. In the watchtower, Batman stands before a projection of it, arms crossed. Beside him stands Superman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, Martian Manhunter, Cyborg, and Goku. The rest of the station hums with quiet power. "This is the breach he made," Cyborg says, one cybernetic eye glowing as he zooms in. It's not natural. It's not any known portal tech. It's like the universe has a cut that refuses to heal. Goku watches the image. He feels the crack in his bones. Every time it pulses, his chest tightens. "I'm sorry," he says. "I didn't know it would do that. My move never did this back home." "We know you meant well," Wonder Woman says. "Intention matters, but so do consequences." The president appears on a big screen. On another, Amanda Waller appears, arms folded, face hard. Waller runs ARGUS, the world's main secret defense agency. She has no patience for gods she cannot control. "I'm Director Waller," she says. "I'm the one who gets called when gods fight over our heads and cities burn. Right now, I see apocalypse portals, a hole in our sky, and a stranger with power on Superman's level who can't even explain the rules of his own tricks. Convince me I shouldn't order every weapon we have aimed at him." Goku blinks, then looks at Superman. "I'm not here to hurt anyone," he says. "I came because I felt fear. Where I'm from, when someone cries out like that, I don't wait. I move. I thought that was the right thing." "Sometimes it is," Superman said. "Sometimes acting fast saves lives. But our world has layers, treaties, threats. Waller is right to ask questions." Batman taps a control. Footage from Metropolis plays, Goku shaping the shockwave of his landing away from the city. Goku blocking parademon fire for civilians. Goku's Kamehameha killing the cube, not the people below. "He is reckless," Batman says, "but he learns quickly. He did not let his power run wild. He aimed it. He shielded by instinct. That matters." Flash raises his hand a little. "Also," Barry says, "have you seen him fight? Pretty sure if he wanted to go full evil, we'd have noticed already. Instead, he saved a bunch of kids and a dog. That's a good sign." Waller's eyes narrow. "Intentions and instincts are not enough," she says. "We live under constant threat. Kryptonians, Amazons, Speed Force, Atlanteans, Lanterns. We survive because we build rules, lines, walls. I want to know the cost of this man's power. I want to know if every time he throws a punch, space itself breaks a little more." Goku looks down at his hands. His fingers curl. He remembers Beerus warning him. He remembers Whiss's calm voice. "You can push instant transmission past its limits, Goku. But each time you jump through that kind of barrier, you scrape against laws older than gods. Do it too often, and those laws might scrape back." He lifts his head. "My power comes from Ki," he says. "It's life energy. It's inside everyone, but I learned to feel it, shape it, grow it. The move I used to get here pushes that power through the gaps between everything. That's what hurt your sky. I can fight hard. I can fight a lot. But if I use that same trick again, the crack will get worse, so I won't use it unless there's no other choice." "So you have limits," Waller says. "Good. Then we can plan. Wonder Woman steps forward. The golden lasso moves at her hip, sensing tension. We stand at a turning point, she says. Darkseid watches us. He felt the breach. He sees an outsider with power to rival gods. We can drive Goku away, fear him, and stand alone. Or we can accept his help and guide it with our own wisdom and rules. Those rules are not optional, Batman says. He looks straight at Goku. No lethal force unless the target is Darkseid or an equal level threat. No destroying cities to save the world. No leaving Earth without telling us. If you stay, you work with the League, not above it. Goku nods, simple and firm. I don't like killing, he says. Sometimes I had to, back home. Some enemies would never stop. But if I can win without it, I will. I'll follow your rules. I came here to help, not to be a boss. Superman smiles slightly. Then we start with that, he says. Goku, welcome to Earth. For now, you fight with the Justice League. The President exhales. If Superman and Batman both vouch for him, the President says, I'll stand down any talk of shooting him out of the sky. Director Waller, you'll coordinate human response with the League as usual. But I want a full report on that crack and any changes in Darkseid's movements. Yes, Mr. President, Waller says, but her eyes stay on Goku. We'll be watching you, Saiyan. The screens go dark. The War Council shifts. The heroes gather around a holographic table. On it, projections show Earth, Apocalypse, Mother Boxes, and the Breach. This is our problem, Batman says, pointing at the crack. Darkseid has tried to invade before using Mother Boxes. We stopped him. This is different. If he can map that breach, he might not need our tech. He could walk through the laws of reality themselves. Then we hit him first, Aquaman says from the far side of the table, arms crossed, trident resting nearby. I'm not waiting for his army to crawl out of that cut and drown my oceans in fire. We take the fight to Apocalypse. We end him. We have treaties with New, Genesis, Martian Manhunter says softly. The cosmic balance is fragile. If we launch a full strike on Apocalypse, we may start a war across worlds. Millions would burn. Millions will burn if we don't, Aquaman snaps. Wonder Woman watches them. In war, you weigh lives against lives, she says. I have seen what happens when generals chase perfect safety with total destruction. There is no perfect safety. There is only the line you choose and the price you are willing to pay. Goku listens quiet. He thinks of his own battles. Times he let enemies live so they could change. Times that mercy almost cost the universe. Times that killing fast would have saved more lives. I don't like this, the Flash says. I solve crimes. I rescue people. I don't want to vote on destroy a whole planet or not. That is the weight of this table, Batman says. Superman looks at the breach again. Goku, he says, back in your universe, you fought beings like Darkseid. Goku nods. I fought gods, destroyers, creatures that can wipe out galaxies. Some changed, some didn't. Every time, there was a point where I had to decide how far I would go. What did you decide? Wonder Woman asks. Goku takes a breath. My rule is simple, he says. I fight to protect as many lives as I can. I don't chase power just to win. I get stronger so I can carry more weight. If I can stop someone without killing them, I do it. If I can't, and the whole universe is at risk, I do what I have to, but I never stop seeing them as a person. Batman's eyes narrow. And if that person is Darkseid, he asks. If sparing him means he will come back in 1,000 years to try again, does your mercy matter to the children who will die then? Goku looks back at him without flinching. If we kill him now, Goku says, someone else might rise like him later. Evil doesn't vanish with one body. But I get your point. Maybe I can't promise to spare him. I can promise this. I'll never choose the easy way just because it hurts less right now. I'll think about the people today and tomorrow. I'll listen to you. You know this world. I don't. The room goes quiet. Martian Manhunter nods once. He is honest, John says. His mind carries no hunger for conquest, only a deep fear of failing to protect. Fear of failure, Batman says quietly. I know that one. Cyborg taps the table. Debate's not just about morals, he says. We need tactics. Darkseid learns every time he loses. He just saw Goku's power. Next time, he'll be ready. As if answering, alarms flash red across the watchtower panels. Energy spike, Cyborg says, eyes going wide. Apocalyptian signature, but twisted. It's not a normal boom tube. It's something new. In the hologram, a point appears near the breach above Metropolis. It grows fast. It is not a circle like a boom tube, but a weird shape that looks like a jagged wound in space. It pulses with the same color as Goku's Kamehameha and Darkseid's fire together. Darkseid watched, Batman says, and copied. Superman and Goku move at once. Let's go, Superman says. Yeah, Goku answers. Time to see what he learned. They blast off toward Metropolis, followed by Wonder Woman and the Flash. Martian Manhunter dissolves into air, reforming near the city. Cyborg opens a boom tube in the watchtower to drop backup teams. On the ground, above the Daily Planet, the new wound opens. From it steps not a horde, but a single figure. He is tall, thin, wrapped in machine-like robes of black metal and glowing veins of sick green. His face is gaunt. His eyes are twin points of cruel light. He carries no weapon in his hands, but the space around him bends, lines of reality warping like heat waves. Desaad, Darkseid's chief torturer and scientist. Behind him, machines made of motherbox fragments spin and hum, feeding on the breach's edge. Such clean energy, Desaad says, voice soft but clear across the sky. This Saiyan's key. Your Kamehameha burned into the cut between universes. My lord thanks you for the sample. Goku and Superman stop a short distance away. Wonder Woman hovers to one side, lasso ready. The Flash vibrates on a rooftop below. Desaad, Superman says, if Darkseid wants a fight, he can come himself. Oh, he will, Desaad says. But first, he sends me with a gift, a correction. You see, this universe has tolerated too many variables. Kryptonians, lanterns, speedsters, now a Saiyan. Chaos is messy. My lord prefers order, so I invented this. He spreads his arms. The machines behind him blaze. The air around Goku twists. His aura flickers, then flares, then cuts out for a second. Pain spikes through his body, sharper than any punch. It feels like someone reached into his chest and squeezed his kai. He gasps. Superman reaches out, grabs his arm to steady him. What's happening? Goku says through clenched teeth. I tuned an anti-kai field, Desaad says, almost proud. Energy that cancels the life force currents you twist into power. I used the resonance from the crack you made, combined with data stolen from your Kamehameha. The more you charge, the more it hurts you, and if I push it far enough. He flicks a finger. A wave of invisible force hits Goku. Goku cries out as his aura slams inward. For a moment, his kai tries to explode, then collapses. He sees stars. His muscles lock. You become a whole, Desaad says calmly. Your own power will tear you apart, then rush into the breach. A perfect plug. No more Saiyan. No more crack. Codex note. Darkseid's anti-kai field uses the unique frequency of Goku's multiversal energy to turn his own power inward, threatening to implode his body and stitch the breach shut at the cost of his life. Superman narrows his eyes. "You turned him into a bomb," he says. "You think we'll let you use him like that?" Desaad smiles. "I think you care too much," Desaad says. "You will not let him die to close the wound. You will seek another way, and during that time, my lord will open more doors." He raises a hand. The anti-Kai field pulses again. Goku's body jolts. He could fight it by pushing his power outward, but he feels at once that if he does, the field will push back harder. It will turn his own strength into a knife pointed at his heart. He is trapped in a new kind of battle. Not fists, not beams, but rules. In the watchtower, Batman watches sensor data stream across screens. Desaad turned his energy into a weakness, he says. "We need a counter. Talk to me." Martian Manhunter speaks, mind brushing all of them. Kai is life force, he sends. It flows like a river in Goku's body. The anti-Kai field is building a dam inside him. If the pressure grows, he will burst. We must lower the pressure without letting Darkseid's machines drink it. Cyborg's fingers blur on the controls. "We could jam the field," Cyborg says. "Noise in that frequency. But I'd need time to map it. And Desaad is smart. He'll adapt." "We buy you that time," Batman says, "and we learn." Power scaling interlude. Batman thinks in short, hard lines. Desaad's anti-Ki field does not just hurt Goku. It redefines the rules of his fights. Every big move now risks feeding the field, making it stronger, turning Goku into a living bomb. Superman can push through red suns, but this is more like kryptonite, a direct answer to his core. Wonder Woman's divine weapons ignore most armor, yet even they might not cut the wires woven through the breach. For the first time since arriving, Goku faces a foe whose main weapon is not strength, but a concept designed to erase his very way of fighting. Back above Metropolis, Goku takes shallow breaths. He keeps his ki low, a faint glow. Every instinct screams at him to power up and smash these machines. But if he does, he risks making the field deadly. Superman steps forward. "You want to test weapons on my world," he says to Desaad. "You want to treat my ally like a lab rat. You're in the wrong city." He charges. Desaad flicks his fingers again, and a cage of warped space snaps around Superman. It is not kryptonite. It is not magic. It is a null zone shaped from the same crack Goku made, tuned to the unique way Superman's cells drink in sunlight. For a moment, Superman feels his strength, not stolen, but muted, like someone covered the sun with thick clouds. He punches. The cage holds barely. Desaad tilts his head. "Fascinating," Desaad murmurs. "Two different alien gods. One powered by life force, one by a yellow sun. One breach, two answers. My lord was wise to send me." Wonder Woman dives, sword first. Her blade meets a shield of pure force that springs from the machines. Sparks fly. Her arms strain. She pushes, but the shield bends, space, sending her aside. Down below, the Flash moves civilians away from the battle area, heart pounding, mind racing. "We are getting stomped," Barry mutters. "This guy didn't come to lose." Goku clenches his fists. "I can't just float here," he says, voice low. "If I don't fight, people die. If I fight wrong, I blow myself up. Great." He closes his eyes for a heartbeat and listens. He hears Superman's strain, Wonder Woman's effort, the Flash's fear, Batman's cold focus, Waller's quiet orders flowing through hidden channels, the distant chant of Amazons readying on Themyscira in case this spreads. He also hears his own heart. "I fight to protect as many lives as I can. That hasn't changed." He opens his eyes. "Hey," Goku shouts at Desaad. "You think you know my power because you watched one move?" Desaad looks at him. "I watched enough. Desaad says. "You are an equation. I solved you." Goku grins, sharp. "Then do the math again," he says. He pushes his koi, but not the way he usually does. Instead of flooding his whole aura, he gathers it in tiny points, like stars, moving it around his body instead of out from it. It hurts, but in a different way. The anti-key field pulses, trying to react, but it was tuned for big waves, not small, precise flows. He zips forward with instant transmission, not across universes, just across a few meters, appearing behind Desaad in a blink. Desaad gasps as a fist grazes his side, just enough to stagger him, not enough to trigger the field's full response. Goku vanishes again. He appears beside a machine, taps it with a thin thread of energy focused like a needle, not a beam. The machine shudders. Its hum drops a little. "You changed the rules," Goku says as he moves, voice echoing around the sky. "So I change how I play." He appears next to Superman's cage. Superman sees his face, sees the strain in his eyes. "Trust me," Goku says. Superman nods. Goku forms a tiny Kamehameha in one hand, so small it looks like a ball. The field spikes, but not like before. The breeze of power tickles the edges of its setting without slamming into the center. Goku slams the mini-beam into a corner of the cage. The null zone shivers, then cracks. Superman pushes with all his might, breaks the weakened wall, and bursts free. Together, they turn on Desaad. Desaad snarls. "Clever animal," he says. "You adapt fast. My lord will enjoy taking you apart." He presses a control on his arm. The machines surge. The anti-Kai field spikes harder than ever before. Goku cries out, falling to one knee in midair, clutching his chest. For a moment, his ki erupts in all directions. Superman moves in front of him, cape wide, taking the edge of the blast. Buildings below shake, but do not fall. Windows break, but people live. "Get him out of here," Wonder Woman shouts, charging the machines again. Martian Manhunter appears beside Superman. "I will phase him out of alignment with the field," John says, "for a short time." He reaches into Goku's mind and body, pushing his own strange, flexible form through Goku's structure. It is risky. 2 alien biologies, 1 fragile moment. Goku feels his body become light, hazy, as if he might slip through himself. The field's grip drops. "Now," Batman's voice says in all their ears. "Cyborg, hit the machines." Cyborg opens a boom tube from the watchtower, pointing not at Earth, but at a dead, empty chunk of rock in deep space. He fires his own blast of white-blue energy into the machine's frequency, overloading them. The anti-key field shatters. The machines explode, pulled through the boom tube. The strange wound Desaad opened closes, leaving only the original crack behind. Desaad staggers, robes torn. "Enough data," he hisses. "My lord has what he needs." He presses a mother box to his chest. "Darkseid is coming," Desaad says, voice full of sick joy. "And he has seen that this Saiyan can be broken." He vanishes in a boom tube of his own. Silence falls over Metropolis. Goku floats, breathing hard, sweat running down his face. His muscles ache in places he didn't know could ache. His ki feels different, hesitant, as if it remembers the field and fears to flow. "You okay?" the Flash asks from below, looking up. Goku laughs weakly. "I've been better," he says, "but I'm alive. And so is your city. That's what matters." Superman rests a hand on his shoulder. "We won the first round," Superman says. "But we learned something hard. Darkseid can hurt you, maybe more than he can hurt any of us." Goku nods. "Good," he said, though his eyes are serious. "That means I can't be lazy. I thought I knew how to fight. Turns out I have to learn new rules." Back in the watchtower later, the mood is mixed. They won. The invasion was stopped again. But everyone feels the weight of what Desaad showed them. He built a weapon just for me, Goku says, sitting on a medical bed as Cyborg scans him. That's new. Most guys just throw big beams and hope I fall over. You are a variable, Martian Manhunter says gently. The moment you stepped into this universe, the board changed. Darkseid responds to variables by trying to erase them. Cyborg looks at his readings. Your key channels are scarred, Cyborg says. Think of them like roads in your body. The anti-Chi field hit like an earthquake. The roads still work, but some are cracked. If you push too much power through too fast, you might reopen those cracks. So I can't go all out, Goku says. For now, Cyborg answers. You can train, adapt, build new pathways, but it will take time. Goku lies back, staring at the ceiling. Back home, he says. When a fight got hard, I pushed past my limits. I broke my body and let it rebuild stronger. Here, every time I push, I might make that crack in your sky worse. Or I might turn myself into a plug for Darkseid's bomb. That's new. Batman steps into view. Welcome to our world, Batman says. Power always has a cost. You just learned yours. Goku sits up. I always knew power had a cost, he says, a little sharp. Friends died. Worlds almost ended. The cost was real there too, but the cost was outside me. Enemies, big blasts. Here, it's inside the rules, inside my own energy. That's hard to get used to. Batman holds his gaze. Good, Batman says. We don't need another god who thinks he can punch his way out of reality itself. We need someone who understands that every blow bends the world a little. Wonder Woman steps between them, her presence calm but strong. Enough, she says. You both carry too much weight to start counting scars on your souls. We stand together or we fall. Goku, will you stay? Knowing Darkseid now hunts not just us, but you. Goku thinks of going home. He could ask Whis to pull him back, maybe. He could leave this universe to fight its own fights. He could train in safety, in a place where the laws match the ones he knows. He sees Metropolis under that crack. He sees the way Superman shielded him. He hears the fear he felt when that anti-Chi field almost tore him apart. I'm staying, Goku says. Darkseid learned about me because I came here. That makes this partly my mess. I don't run from messes I made. Superman smiles, small but genuine. Then we move to the next step, Superman says. We know Darkseid has weapons that target you. We know he can twist the breach. We need a plan that takes that into account. Batman taps the table, opening a new hologram. Darkseid's goal, Batman says, has always been the same. The anti-life equation. Control over all will. If he can blend it with this new anti-Chi tech, he might find a way to write his law into living energy. Goku's ki is a pure, strong sample. He'll want more. So he'll come for me, Goku says. Great, saves us the trip. Not if he kills you in the process, Aquaman says dryly. We won today by changing how we think, Martian Manhunter says. We cannot just wait for him to knock on our door again. We must seek wisdom. There are beings who understand the walls between universes, the source, the new gods, the guardians. Which means politics, Wonder Woman says. Old grudges, old rules. The last time we stood before the cosmic powers, it almost tore this world apart. The Flash sighs. So, Barry says, first we punch space, then space punched back. Now we have to go ask the people who own space for permission to fix what we broke. Is that about right? Batman nods once. That's about right, he says. Goku looks at the breach on the screen. It pulses, faint but steady. I don't like asking for permission to protect people, Goku says. But I get it. This isn't just about punches. It's about laws. If I'm going to fight here, I have to know the rules your universe plays by, and maybe talk to whoever writes them. Then we prepare a journey, Superman says, to the ones who sit closest to the source, to the powers that judge gods and men. And to Darkseid's enemies, Batman adds, if we're going to stand against him with a wounded Saiyan on our side, we need allies who know how he thinks. New Genesis, the Highfather, maybe even the Guardians of Oa. Goku rolls his shoulders, feeling the ache but also a spark of excitement. A new kind of training, he says. Learning the rules of a whole universe. Fighting a war that's not just muscle, but meaning. He smiles, tired but real. I'm in, he says. Up to now, Goku has joined the Justice League, helped repel Desaad's first move, learned that Darkseid can build weapons that turn his ki against him, and agreed to stay in this universe even though every big move he makes might break its laws further. The next briefing is not in the Watchtower. It is in a hall of white and gold that floats above nothing. New Genesis. Goku stands beside Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, and Martian Manhunter. Around them loom the new gods. Orion with his hard eyes and battle harness. Highfather with his staff and calm, heavy gaze. Light ray burning like a small sun. The floor is a clear circle that shows stars below. The breach above Earth glows faintly in the far distance, a hairline crack in the dark. Highfather raises his staff. You broke the skin of reality, Saiyan, Highfather says. You meant to save lives. But meaning does not erase harm. Darkseid now reaches for that wound. He has tasted your power. He will not stop. Goku bows his head a little. I know, he says. Where I'm from, when I push past the limit, someone like him always shows up. I didn't think the limit would be the universe itself. Orion snorts. You play with laws you don't understand, Orion says. You are a warrior. Act like it. Measure your blows. Batman steps closer to the center. Darkseid's goal hasn't changed, Batman says. The anti-life equation still drives him. Control of all will. But now he has something new. Anti-Kai. A way to turn Goku into a tool or a bomb. Our usual counters won't be enough. Superman nods. In the last war, Superman says, we united the mother boxes and closed his boom tubes. We stopped his armies. This time he's going around that tech. He's reaching straight through the breach. Martian Manhunter's voice touches all their minds. Standard counters fail, John sends. We can punch back armies, break machines, but Darkseid now fights with rules. Fields that rewrite ki, cages that mute suns, weapons that drink from the crack itself. Hit them wrong, and we feed them. Goku clenches his teeth. So we don't hit them wrong, he says. We learn how they work. We have to. Highfather lowers his staff so its tip touches the clear floor. The breach you made, he says, is a scar on the source wall. That wall holds back the raw force behind all things. Darkseid would break it to drink from the font itself. Your path here scraped it. His machines now pull at the same point. If the wall cracks wide, universes will bleed into each other. None of you will survive that storm. The Flash raises his hand, nervous. So step one, Barry says, is don't crack the infinite wall. Got it. Highfather's eyes rest on Goku. You must face Darkseid, Highfather says. Not his torturer, not his scouts. The Lord of Apocalypse himself. You must learn how deeply he has cut into your ki, and what mark he has placed upon you. Only then will the Source's higher powers judge what must be done. Batman's jaw tightens. You want to send him to Apocalypse, Batman says, into Darkseid's home. No, Highfather says. Darkseid is already on his way to you. An alarm chimes. Orion's harness hums. A screen of light opens in the air, showing the area near Earth's moon. A new shape glows near the breach. A black cube the size of a city, covered in omega symbols that burn red. It hangs in space, not moving, but the space around it bends. Darkseid's war monolith, Orion says. A siege engine. He never brought that before. On the screen, small dots streak toward the monolith. League ships, lanterns, new Genesis craft. Batman taps his gauntlet. Get us there, Batman says. Now. The battlefield hangs between Earth and the moon. On one side, Earth shines blue and white. On the other, the moon glows cold and grey. In the middle sits Darkseid's black cube, spines of fire and stone reaching out, drinking from the breach like roots in a wound. Around it, green lanterns form a glowing shell. New Genesis flyers darting close, firing beams that splash uselessly off the monolith's surface. Justice League shuttles hold back, waiting for an opening. Goku, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman in a space-ready suit, the Flash in a shielded pod, and Martian Manhunter all stand inside a small new Genesis craft as it speeds toward the fight. Goku presses his hand to the window. He can feel it even from here. The cold, heavy pressure of Darkseid's will. It moves like gravity, pulling at choices, wanting to flatten them. I've fought people who wanted to destroy everything, Goku says softly. This feels worse, like he wants to lock everything in place. No growth, no change. That is anti-life, Martian Manhunter says. Not death, the end of choice. The craft shudders as they pass through energy fields. Orion's voice booms over the channel. Justice League, Orion says. We will hold the armies. Darkseid has anchored himself inside the monolith. He will not risk his throne yet, but he will send his avatar, a body of his will and force. Goku, that is yours to face. Goku nods, simple and sure. Good, he says. I wanted to see what he can really do. Batman glances at him. Remember the field, Batman says. He will have more tricks like that. Don't give him a full charge. Small moves. Precision. Learn more than you show. Goku smiles, even now. Hey, he says. Sometimes I can listen. The craft docks with a lantern platform. They step out into open space, protected by lantern shields and new Genesis tech. Stars shine in every direction. The war monolith looms ahead, a black mountain in the sky. A section of its surface opens. Darkseid steps out. He is huge. Grey stone skin, red eyes, armor that looks like it was carved from cold night. Omega symbols glow along his arms and chest. He does not wear a helmet. His face is calm and heavy, like someone who has already decided how the story ends. He floats toward them without any sign of effort. Superman moves forward to meet him, cape rippling in the void. Darkseid, Superman says, turn your engine away from our world. Take your war back home. We've beaten you before. We'll do it again. Darkseid's eyes rest on him for a moment, then shift to Goku. The Saiyan, Darkseid says. His voice carries in their ears without sound. The outsider who broke my prison. The one whose key sang through the crack. You are the most interesting toy this age has given me. Goku steps forward. I'm not a toy, he says. I'm a fighter, and I don't like bullies. Leave this universe alone. I don't care how interesting you think I am. Darkseid almost smiles. You came because you felt fear, Darkseid says. You crossed the wall without permission. You tore law for mercy, a noble lie. You are no better than the gods you flee, but you are useful. His eyes flare. Omega beams shoot out. They twist and turn through space, ignoring straight lines, seeking Goku's chest. Goku shifts into Ultra Instinct's first shimmer, body moving before thought. He dodges once, twice, stepping between beams that bend around Superman and Wonder Woman without touching them. The beams turn. They follow him. He instant transmissions to the side, not far, just enough to confuse them. They twist and come again. Ignore them, Batman's voice snaps in his ear. They feed on your attention. Move where you need to. Let the others help. Goku breathes, trusts. He moves toward Darkseid instead of away. The beams close in. Green light slams into them from the side as a lantern ring intercepts, bending their path. Wonder Woman's bracelets flash as she deflects a split off. The flash, in a small field of force, vibrates, making another beam pass through empty space. Goku closes the distance. His fist hits Darkseid's chest. Darkseid moves back half a step. Only half. But it is enough. The war monolith shakes. The breach flickers. Goku follows with a flurry of blows, each one small, sharp, controlled. He does not let his aura flare huge. He treats his ki like a thin blade, not a wave. Darkseid's arms block, absorb, redirect. Then Darkseid's hand catches Goku's wrist. "You adapt fast," Darkseid says. "Good. It would be dull otherwise." His other hand slams into Goku's chest. It is not just a punch. Goku feels something burning into his Kai channels, a sigil pressed inside his energy. Pain radiates through his whole being. For a moment, his body forgets which way is solid. He flies back, crashing into a lantern shield. The shield ripples, holding. Superman dives in, fists clenched. Darkseid meets him with a backhand that bends space. Superman tumbles, hits a chunk of shattered rock, then pushes off, eyes blazing. "Stay down," Darkseid says. "I am busy rewriting your friend." Goku floats, hand over his chest. He feels it, a mark inside his ki. Wherever his energy flows, it brushes against that symbol. It does not block his power, it shapes it. "What did you do?" Goku gasps. "I gave you a gift," Darkseid says. "The Omega brand. Each time you push your ki to its peak, it will open a path for me. I will see where you are. I will taste who you fight for. I will learn. Enough uses, and your ki will not be yours. It will be my lens." Wonder Woman charges, sword ready. Darkseid's Omega beams swing back, forcing her to shield. He does not even turn his head. "Goku," Superman says through gritted teeth, rising again. "You don't have to go all out. We can fight him together. We don't give him what he wants." Darkseid's eyes narrow. "Listen to your friend, Saiyan," Darkseid says. "He fears what you are. He fears the thin line between hero and tyrant. But you and I both know the truth. Power shapes worlds. Weakness feeds graves." He lifts one hand. Below them, near the war monolith's base, a new Genesis cruiser explodes as its shields fail. The shockwave throws soldiers into the void. Lanterns rush to catch them. "This is a small piece of what I bring," Darkseid says calmly. "Armies, worlds, equations. You can either help me shape them into order, or waste your strength fighting the tide." Goku's teeth grind. "Shut up," he says. "People aren't numbers." Darkseid's gaze hardens. "They are exactly numbers," Darkseid says. "There is a sum for every war, a set of losses and gains. You already live by it. You pretend you do not. Every time you spare an enemy, more die later. Every time you hold back, your friends bleed. How many have you lost by being merciful, Saiyan?" Images flash in Goku's mind. Friends hurt, worlds almost gone. Times he trusted someone to change, and they hurt others before they did. Times he chose a fair fight over a quick finish. His chest burns where the Omega brand sits. Darkseid's voice softens, almost kind. I offer you truth, Darkseid says. Fight by my side, and your mercy will have order. No more random pain. No more rolling dice with lives. You want to protect people? Help me remove their choices. They will never hurt themselves again. Superman's eyes blaze. That's not protection, Superman says. That's slavery. Darkseid does not look at him. I am not talking to you, Kryptonian, Darkseid says. You are chained to your little planet. He is not. He already broke the wall to answer a cry. He already placed one universe at risk for another. That is my scale. That is how I think. He is mine. Goku breathes hard. He feels the pull, not just of Darkseid's force, but of the idea. If he took that power, if he let Darkseid wire his key into anti-life, he might stop so much pain. No surprise attacks, no broken promises, just stillness. He sees the faces of everyone he could not save. He hears a whisper inside, "You always fail someone." He also sees Superman standing again and again, Batman's stubborn eyes, Wonder Woman's steady courage, Flash's nervous jokes, people on Earth looking up at two figures in the sky. He thinks of his simple rule. I fight to protect as many lives as I can. If he helps Darkseid, he will save bodies and kill souls. I don't want that, Goku says, voice low. I don't want a universe that stops moving. I don't want people to be safe and empty. I don't want your kind of order. Darkseid's eyes flare brighter. Then you choose chaos, Darkseid says. You choose growth over peace, pain over stillness. You choose to let children die now so that others may be free to suffer later. Do not pretend your hands are clean, Saiyan. They are soaked, as mine are. You just refuse to admit it. He lifts his hand. The Omega brand in Goku's chest pulses. Power spikes through Goku's body, not from his will, but from Darkseid's touch. His ki surges, forced toward ultra instinct levels. The strain is blinding. He feels his body start to crack from the inside. If you will not walk with me, Darkseid says, I will burn you as a lesson. Your death will stitch the wall and feed my equation. Goku screams. Energy pours out of him in wild white waves. Lantern shields strain. The war monolith spines drink some of the blast, feeding the crack. The breach glows brighter. Earth's atmosphere sensors go wild. Superman throws himself between Goku and the planet, taking the edge of the blast. His suit tears. His skin burns. He heals fast, but not fast enough to ignore this. Goku, Superman shouts, fight it. Don't let him use you. Goku can barely hear. Inside his mind, there is a place of calm. He has reached it before, on other battlefields. The place where his body moves without thought, where he lets go. He reaches for it now. But as he does, he feels the Omega brand waiting there ready to turn that calm into Darkseid's lens. He stops. He does something new. Instead of reaching for more power, he pulls back. Bit by bit, breath by breath, he calls his ki home. He does not slam it into Darkseid's control. He slides around it, letting the brand burn but not dominate. He accepts the pain instead of fighting the touch head-on. His aura shrinks. The wild waves fade to a tight silver glow around his skin. Ultra instinct, but held low. A quiet version. A whisper instead of a shout. Darkseid's eyes widen a fraction. You choose restraint, Darkseid says. Interesting. Goku's voice is steady now, even though his body trembles. You're right about one thing, Goku says. I've got blood on my hands. I've messed up. I've let people die. But the answer isn't to stop them from making choices. The answer is to keep trying, even when it hurts. To carry the weight and not spread it by turning everyone into your puppets. He flashes forward. This time, Ultra Instinct does not flare wide. It clings close, making his movements sharp and simple. He slips past an Omega Beam, taps Darkseid's wrist at just the right angle, and breaks his grip on the brand for a heartbeat. He punches Darkseid in the jaw. For the first time, Darkseid's head turns. The war monolith cracks along one edge. Superman comes in from the side, slamming Darkseid with a shoulder hit that sends both of them crashing into the monolith's surface. Wonder Woman's lasso loops around one of the cube's spines and yanks, tearing a chunk away. Lanterns swarm in, hitting with focused blasts. Darkseid pushes out a wave of raw force, sending them all flying back. Enough, Darkseid thinks. He raises his hand to fire another killing beam, and the stars change color. For a second, everything goes white. An outline appears behind Darkseid, huge and rough, like a wall of light with shapes of screaming faces frozen inside. The Source Wall. A voice rolls through all their minds at once, deeper than Darkseid's, calmer than Highfather's. Enough. The war monolith's spines freeze. The breach flickers, then steadies. Darkseid snarls. "You dare," he starts. The light brightens. He cannot finish. The monolith's outer shell peels away in chunks, floating off into space. Darkseid is forced back, away from Goku, away from the breach. The Source itself speaks. Highfather whispers from his platform. It will not let them fight at full power here. Not yet. The wall is too thin. Darkseid pulls himself free. "This is not over," Darkseid says, voice thick with rage. "You carry my brand, Saiyan. You cannot change that. Every step you take, I will watch. Every time you push your limits, I will see. When the wall cracks at last, you will be my door." He steps back into the monolith as it folds around him. The cube vanishes in a flash of dark light, leaving only a faint, angry red stain in space. Goku floats, breathing hard, hands still over his chest. The Omega brand burns like a coal. Superman reaches him. "You refused him," Superman says, "and you didn't let him turn you into a bomb. That's a win." Goku shakes his head. "He still marked me," Goku says. "Every time I go all out, he gets stronger. That's what he wanted. He doesn't care if he loses a punch. He cares about the rules." He looks at the place where the war monolith stood. "I don't know how to beat that," he says softly. Highfather's voice echoes over the channel. "You cannot beat that alone," Highfather says. "You carry both the breach and the brand. You are a walking question for the universe. The Source has taken notice. It has spoken once. It will speak again. You must stand before its court." Batman's eyes narrow behind his mask. "You're saying," Batman says, "that the next step is not another fight. It's judgment." "Yes," Highfather says. "There is a place where the laws of this reality are weighed. The throne beyond the wall. Few reach it. Fewer return unchanged. But the Source has already touched this war. Stillness is not an option." Goku looks down at his hands. His ki feels different now. Wherever it flows, it brushes the Omega brand. He can live with the pain. He is not sure he can live with being a window for Darkseid. "Then we go there," Goku says. "We ask the Source what it wants, and I argue for this universe as hard as I've ever fought anyone." Superman nods. "We go together," Superman says. "Justice League, new gods, anyone the Source will allow. You don't stand alone in front of cosmic judgment." Wonder Woman rests a hand on Goku's shoulder. "The gods have always judged mortals," she says. "It is past time we judge them back." Codex note: Darkseid's Omega brand sits inside Goku's Kai flow like a hidden glyph. Every full release of Ultra Instinct opens a channel for Darkseid's will to observe and adapt, turning raw power into a double-edged beacon. Up to now, Goku has faced Darkseid's avatar in space, taken the Omega brand into his ki, refused the offer of peace through control, and seen the Source itself step in to stop a total collapse of the wall, forcing all sides to seek higher judgment. The pilgrimage begins on a ship that is also a temple. It is a long, narrow craft carved from white stone and golden metal, with New Genesis symbols along the sides and green lantern light woven into its spine. Inside, the air smells clean and sharp. The walls hum with quiet power. Goku sits on a bench in the medical bay. A New Genesis healer runs a glowing device over his chest. Cyborg stands nearby, monitoring readings. Batman leans against a wall, arms crossed. Wonder Woman sits across from Goku, lasso on her lap. Superman rests a hand on a support beam, watching the stars slide by outside a window. The ship glides toward a point in space where no star shines, the edge of the Source wall. Goku looks at the healer's face. "So," he asks, "how bad is it?" The healer's eyes are soft but serious. "The brand is deep," she says. "Darkseid's mark does not fade on its own. It wraps around your ki like a ring. It does not stop it, but it twists it. If you push too hard too often, the ring tightens. It will try to choke you." Cyborg nods, watching his screens. "Same as my data," Cyborg says. "You can still fight, but the old go beyond your limits every time trick. That's not safe here. You're not just tearing muscles now. You're tugging at cosmic chains." Goku scratches his head. "So I have to fight smarter," he says. "Got it. I should have been doing that anyway." Batman snorts, very softly. "We agree on something," Batman says. Wonder Woman leans forward. "The Source Throne is not a place of fists," she says. "There, truth weighs more than strength. But the two are tied. The gods will look at how you fight, why you fight, and what your power has done. They will decide if this universe can bear you." Superman looks at Goku. "You don't have to pass this test alone," Superman says. "We stand with you. We can testify. We can show the lives you saved, the choices you've made." Goku shrugs. "I'm not scared of tests," he says. "I just don't like the idea that some big voice gets to tell people if they're allowed to help or not. Where I'm from, you just jump in." Batman's eyes are steady. "Here, if you jump wrong, worlds crack," Batman says. "The voice isn't always right, but it exists. It will make a call whether we like it or not. Better we show up and argue than hide." The Flash rolls in on a small grav sled, still not built for long space trips. "So Cosmic Court," Barry says. "Source judges, maybe the Spectre, maybe the Guardians, maybe some other glowing, spooky people. We go in, say sorry, we punched your wall, and ask them not to erase us. Great plan. Love it." Martian Manhunter appears beside him, shape half faded. "The alternative," John says, "is to do nothing and let Darkseid make his case alone. He will not ask for mercy. He will ask for permission." "Point taken," Barry sighs. The ship hums as it slips through layers of strange energy. For a while, there is quiet. Goku stares at his hands again. "I came here because I felt a cry for help," he says. "That felt simple. Now we're talking laws and walls and judges. I'm not used to that. I just punched the guy who wants to end everything." Superman smiles a little. "That's still part of the plan," he says. "But this universe does something to people like us. It builds rules around us. Magic circles, treaties, oaths. Sometimes they help. Sometimes they trap. We can't pretend they're not there." Wonder Woman nods. "A warrior who ignores law becomes a beast," she says. "A judge who forgets the pain of battle becomes a tyrant. We walk between." She looks at Goku. "That is why you are here," she says. You broke a law to answer a cry. Now you must ask if you will bend to a higher law, help shape it, or defy it. Goku thinks for a moment. My code is simple, he says. Protect as many as I can. Get stronger so I can carry more. Try mercy first. Fight when I must. Never stop learning. He looks at Batman, then Superman, then Wonder Woman. If their laws break that, he says, I won't follow them. I'd rather be erased than become another Darkseid. Batman's eyes flicker with a strange respect. Good, Batman says. If the source demands we become tools, we walk away, or fall fighting. Either way, we don't kneel. Superman nods. I don't worship power, Superman says. Not even cosmic power. If the source is just, it will welcome honest hearts. If it isn't, then maybe its laws need to change. The ship shakes. Alarms chime. Cyborg's eyes widen. We've got a problem, he says. Something is pulling on the breach's frequency. Not from ahead, from the side. Like a side road cutting across our path. Martian Manhunter closes his eyes, scanning. Not Darkseid, John says. The touch is familiar. Like Goku, but wrong, twisted. Batman stiffens. Desaad, Batman says. He had Goku's energy sample. If he built a weapon from it, he could build something else. The ship lurches as a rip opens beside it. Space tears. Out of the tear steps a figure that looks like Goku. And not. He wears armor shaped like Apocalypse, black and red, with Omega symbols along the plates. His hair is wild like Goku's, but darker, tipped with shadow. His eyes glow a sick red, not with Darkseid's cold hate, but with a hungry focus. A thin line of silver light runs down his chest, matching Goku's Omega brand. He stands on nothing, hands at his sides, calm and balanced. Light Ray gasps. Desaad made a mirror, he says, a Saiyan tuned to anti-life. The double bows slightly in the void. I am Kakarot of Apocalypse, he says, born from your key, forged in Darkseid's fires. I am what you could be if you stopped lying to yourself. Goku steps forward in the ship's airlock, staring out through the field. So you're me, Goku says, or a piece of me. I am you without mercy, Kakarot says. You love battle. You say it is for training, for growth. You lie. You enjoy the clash. You thrill at the risk. You get excited when a foe rises stronger. Darkseid understands that. He shaped me from your joy. I fight not to protect. I fight to end all choice that causes pain. I choose total victory. Superman's fists clench. Desaad weaponized your best and worst parts, Superman says to Goku. He made a version of you that never stops at enough. Kakarot tilts his head. You hate that part of yourself, Kakarot says to Goku. You are ashamed of it. You shouldn't be. If you accepted it, you'd never freeze when the cost is high. You'd swing harder. You'd make one clean cut, no regrets. He lifts a hand. A dark aura flares, shaped like Ultra Instinct but edged with Omega fire. Goku's chest burns in answer. Come out and test me, Kakarot says. The source wall is near. The judges will watch. Show them which code holds. Orion curses. We cannot delay, Orion says. We must reach the throne. The wall is thinner every moment. Highfather's voice echoes from the front of the ship. This is a trial the source allows, Highfather says. A mirror before the court. Face him, Saiyan, but do not lose yourself to his shape. Batman's voice is sharp. Short fight, Batman says. No big blasts. No full Ultra Instinct. You trigger the brand at full, Darkseid learns more. You tear the wall, we lose. Goku nods once. He steps out through the ship's shield. Lantern light wraps around him, letting him breathe in the void. He faces Kakarot. They hover in empty space, the ship behind Goku. the faint glow of the source wall in the distance like a flat, bright horizon. Goku raises his fists. "All right," he says. "Let's see what Desaad thinks I am." They clash. Kakarot moves with ultra instinct smoothness, but his strikes are brutal, always aimed at killing blows, throat, heart, spine. He doesn't test, he ends. Goku blocks, dodges, twists. He moves with the same grace but pulls his punches, careful even now not to hit so hard that he shatters the ship behind him. "See," Kakarot says between blows, "you hold back even when the opponent is literally you. You're afraid to break. You fear losing control. I embrace it." He feints high, then slams a knee into Goku's marked chest. Pain explodes. The Omega brand flares. Goku's aura flickers for a heartbeat, leaning toward Kakarot's shape. Voices whisper in his head. One strike, one cut. End it. No more risk. He grits his teeth. He remembers everyone he trains with. People he has sparred without killing. Enemies who became friends because he didn't take their heads off in the first minute. "I'm not afraid of power," Goku says, pushing Kakarot back with a flurry. "I respect it. I know what it does if I let it run loose. I like fighting. That's true. I won't pretend I don't. But I like my friends more." Kakarot laughs, a harsh sound. "You think those feelings matter to Darkseid?" Kakarot says. "To the wall. They care about sums, laws, final states. Mercy is noise." He vanishes, reappears behind Goku, hits him in the back. Goku spins, blocks the next strike, takes a third on his arm. Bones creak. On the ship, Flash presses his face to the field, watching. "He's good," Barry breathes. "He's... You if Batman raised you." Batman ignores that. "Look at their auras," Batman says. Kakarot's energy is sharp, straight lines, no waste. Goku's is softer, more spread. "We need to shift this." Martian Manhunter closes his eyes. "Goku," John sends into Goku's mind. The wall watches. This is not just a fight of fists. It is a fight of codes. If you beat him by becoming him, the judges will see that as your truth. Goku winces as Kakarot's elbow catches his jaw. "Then I beat him my way," Goku thinks back, "even if it hurts more." He lets Kakarot close in. Instead of matching speed for speed, he takes a hit on his shoulder, grabs Kakarot's wrist, and holds on. Kakarot snarls and tries to twist free. Goku headbutts him. It is a clumsy move, not ultra instinct smooth. Very human. It works. Kakarot recoils, aura flickering. Goku follows with a body blow, not to the heart, but to the gut, winding him. "You don't understand me," Goku says, breath rough. "You think I want perfect fights, perfect order. I don't. I like messy fights. I like mistakes. I like getting back up after I fall. That's where growth is." Kakarot wipes blood from his lip. "Growth is a lie," Kakarot says. "The strong rule, the weak obey. Darkseid offers a place at the top. You choose to crawl in the dirt with them." He draws ki into his hands. A dark Kamehameha forms, lined with Omega symbols. Batman's voice snaps in Goku's ear. "Do not answer that with a full beam," Batman says. "You'll crack the wall." Goku nods once. Kakarot fires. The black-blue beam roars toward Goku, trailing lines of anti-life script. Goku does not fire back. He takes a deep breath, focuses every bit of ki he can spare into his hands, and shapes a shield. Not huge, tight. He thinks of the first moment he landed in Metropolis, when he turned his full shock outward instead of down. The beam hits, the shield holds. Barely. Pain rips through his arms. The Omega brand flares. The wall in the distance glows brighter, absorbing stray lines of power. Goku's shield shatters at the last moment, but by then the beam has lost most of its teeth. The remains slam into his chest. throwing him back, but not killing him. He flips, catches himself, breathes. "That's you," Goku says, chest heaving. "All power, no care where it lands. You'd blow through a city to stop Darkseid. I won't." He vanishes, reappears above Kakarot, and hits him with a double-fisted hammer blow to the back. Kakarot slams toward the side of the breach. Tear he came from. The tear wobbles. A wave of light rolls out from the direction of the source wall. A voice, not words, but feeling. Enough. Lines of golden energy wrap around Kakarot, holding him in place. He struggles, snarling. "The source judges this echo," Highfather says softly on the ship. "It sees the shape Darkseid tries to give the Saiyan. It will not let it harden yet." Kakarot glares at Goku. "This is not over," Kakarot says. "Every time you hold back, more die. One day you will beg for my clarity." Golden light tightens. He is pulled back into the tear, which seals behind him. The ship steadies. Goku floats alone in the spot where he fought, exhausted but still in one piece. He looks toward the distant wall. "Thanks," he says quietly. "I guess." The wall does not answer in words, but the glow shifts, like an eye turning toward him. The ship continues. Ahead, the source wall grows from a distant line to a vast, flat expanse. It looks like a frozen wave of light and stone, covered in the shapes of giant beings half buried in its surface. Some look like gods, some like monsters. All are still. At one point, a narrow opening hangs above the wall, a doorway of pure white. "The throne beyond," Highfather says, standing at the front of the ship. "We are allowed this path. Few are." The ship slows. Lanterns peel away. New Genesis escorts hold back. Only the main party moves on. Goku, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Martian Manhunter, Cyborg, Orion, Highfather, and a pair of Guardians of Oa glowing blue. As they approach the doorway, they feel their powers dim. Superman's strength settles to a lower, steady level. Wonder Woman's divine spark becomes a warm ember. Martian Manhunter feels his shape-shifting slow. The Flash's link to the Speed Force hums quietly instead of roaring. Goku's ki drops to a calm pulse. The Omega brand aches but does not flare. "This place sets rules," Batman says, voice even. "Good. I like knowing the ceiling." They step through the doorway. Inside is a vast hall that has no walls and also feels enclosed. The floor is a simple, endless plane of smooth stone. Above them hangs a sky full of slow-turning symbols, the logos of gods, planets, forces. The air is still. Every sound is clear. At the far end of the hall rises a tall, simple throne. It is not made of gold or jewels. It is made of the same smooth stone as the floor, raised on 3 steps. Above it hangs a circle of light with no shape inside. Figures stand around the hall. The spectre, cloaked in green and white, eyes glowing with judgment. The phantom stranger, face shadowed. Guardians of Oa, small and blue, floating. Representatives of New Genesis, of the Lords of Order, of other forces Goku does not know. They all turn as the party walks in. The spectre's voice rolls like distant thunder. "You stand before the presence of the source," the spectre says. "You come bound to a breach and a brand. Speak carefully, mortals and half-gods. Your words here bend more than your own fates." Goku swallows. Superman steps forward first. "We come to answer for a broken law," Superman says, "and to ask for a way to fight Darkseid that does not tear the wall apart." Highfather bows. "The Saiyan crossed without your leave," Highfather says. "He did so to answer a cry. Darkseid now uses that wound. We stand on the edge of a war that could spill into every world." Batman speaks, voice low but firm. "We don't ask you to fight our war for us," Batman says. "We ask for clarity, for limits, for a way to break Darkseid's new tools without breaking reality." The circle of light above the throne brightens. A voice enters all their minds at once. It does not sound like a man or woman. It does not shout. It is calm and heavy, like gravity turned into sound. "You broke a law of distance," the voice says. "You tore a path where none should be without my leave. You did so for mercy. Mercy is not a shield against consequence. They all feel it looking at them. It rests last on Goku. You are not of this place," the voice says to him. "You crossed from a story I do not write. You heard a cry and answered with your own law. Protect as many as you can. You did not ask who owned the field you stepped into." Goku bows his head. "I didn't think about ownership," Goku says. "Where I come from, if someone screams for help, you go. You don't hold a meeting first. Maybe that was wrong here, but I won't say I'm sorry for trying to save people." The air trembles, but not in anger. "You speak plain," the voice says. "That is rare among those who wield your weight." Wonder Woman lifts her chin. "Darkseid also broke your law," she says. "He uses the breach. He built anti-key weapons. He marked Goku without consent. He seeks to break the wall itself. If judgment falls, it should fall on him first." "It does," the voice says. "But Darkseid is of this story. His role as tyrant is written into its bones." He pushes, I push back. "You know this dance. The Saiyan is new ink. New ink spills." Batman frowns. "You see him as an error," Batman says. "A glitch. A possibility," the voice corrects. "An edit. A chance to rewrite some lines, and a risk of tearing the page." Goku steps closer. "I didn't come here to rewrite anyone's story," he says. "I came to stop a bully. If my being here breaks more than it fixes, tell me. I'll take the hit. I'll go. Or whatever you need. Erase me. Just don't let Darkseid win because of me." The hall goes very still. The Spectre watches. The Guardians murmur to each other with their eyes, not mouths. Highfather's hand tightens on his staff. The voice softens. "You offer yourself," the voice says. "That is noted. But erasing you will not erase what has been done. The breach will still stain the wall. The brand will still echo in my weave. Darkseid already learned from you." Goku's hands curl. "Then what do we do?" he asks. "I can't just stop fighting. He'll roll over your universe. If I fight the old way, I feed his tricks. If I stop, I fail everyone. I don't see a good move." "You seek a clean path," the voice says. "There is none. There are only costs placed differently." It pauses. "Very well," the voice continues. "I will set limits. I will bind you to this place in a way that shields and scars." A beam of gentle light falls on Goku. He feels something shift in his Kai. The Omega brand pulses, then is wrapped in another symbol, a circle of steadier light that cools the burn without erasing it. "You may not cross between universes again," the voice says. "The door you opened is closed to you. Your instant transmission will move you within this story, not beyond it. Each time you push your power to its highest state, your ultra instinct, the ring I placed around the brand will hold Darkseid's reach back, at a price." Goku's throat is dry. "What price?" he asks. "Pieces of you will fade," the voice says. "Not your strength, your memory, your ties to the world you left. Each time you burn that bright, you will forget a little of home. Names, faces, places. You will remain you, shaped by your choices here. But the life behind you will blur." Goku's heart lurches. He thinks of Chi-Chi, Gohan, Goten, Vegeta, Piccolo, Beerus, Whis, his house, his fields, all the small, simple things. His eyes sting. That's hard, he says, voice shaken. You're asking me to give up my past to protect a place that wasn't mine. I'm not asking, the voice says. I'm setting the law if you choose to stay and fight at that scale. You may also choose not to use that height. You may stay small, keep your memories, and let others carry the highest blows. Or you may leave the field entirely. I will not force your hand. I tell you the cost. Superman steps forward. If he chooses to pay it, Superman says, we will stand with him. We will remember what he loses. We will carry his story even if he cannot. Batman's voice is tight, but he nods. Memory for power, Batman says. That's cleaner than most cosmic deals. At least you told us. The Guardians speak now, their voices a thin counterpoint. The Lantern Corps will treat the Saiyan as a special case, one Guardian says. We will monitor the brand and the ring. If his use of power threatens the wall, we will intervene. If Darkseid finds a way through despite this, we will adjust. Orion lifts his head. New Genesis will honor the Saiyan, Orion says. He refused my father. He took the brand and did not bow. That matters. We will fight at his side. The circle of light glows brighter for a moment. This is your new mandate, the voice says to Goku. You may fight here. You may rise to your highest state when need demands. Each time, you give up pieces of your old life. You bind yourself more fully to this world. You become less a visitor, more a native force. Darkseid's reach through the brand will be slowed, not erased. Use this tool with care. Power Scaling Interlude 2. Highfather's mind wraps words around what the Source just did. The Saiyan is now anchored. His instant transmission can no longer tear the wall, only skim within its skin. The Omega brand remains as a mark, but a ring of Source light pins it, forcing Darkseid's gaze to push through a filter that costs him time and strength each time Ultra Instinct flares. In exchange, every peak state strips Goku of memory, rewriting his soul's weight from wanderer with a home to warrior of this plane. The Justice League gains a weapon that grows sharper with each sacrifice, but they also gain responsibility to call on that weapon only when they are willing to watch their friend slowly lose the life that made him. The hall is quiet again. Goku stands in the light, hands shaking. Can I think about this? He asks. Not for long. Just a moment. You will decide soon, the voice says. Darkseid moves while we speak. He tests the ring even now. But yes, breathe. The light fades back to a soft glow. They stand together in the throne hall. Superman turns to Goku. You don't have to do this, Superman says. You didn't ask to be dragged into our cosmic mess. You could walk away from this law. We'd find another way. Goku looks at him. I came here on my own, Goku says. I broke the wall. I brought my mess with me. I can't pretend it's not my problem. If my power is part of the answer, I can't just keep it safe and clean. Wonder Woman's eyes are warm but sad. This price is not small, she says. You will lose pieces of who you were. Goku smiles, small and crooked. I've always changed, he says. Every time I reach a new limit, I'm not the same guy I was. Sometimes I miss that old guy, but I don't hate who I become. If I forget some things, maybe you can remind me, or maybe I'll just make new memories. The Flash wipes at his eyes quickly. I'll write everything down, Barry says. Like everything. Fights, jokes, meals, weird training. We'll make a book, or 10. Batman's voice is quiet. If we call on your peak, Batman says, it will be because there is no other way. I won't spend your past like loose change. Goku nods. Good, he says, because I don't want to forget them for nothing. He looks back up at the circle of light. All right, Goku says, I accept your law. I'll stay. I'll fight. I'll use Ultra Instinct when I have to, and I'll pay your price. But I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for the people who can't stand in this hall and argue about rules. The hall vibrates, almost like a chuckle. That is acceptable, the voice says. Fight for them, not for me. My laws shape the field. Your choices play the game. Darkseid is moving his pieces. Return, Saiyan. Justice League. New gods. Your war waits. The circle dims. The throne hall begins to fade. Stone turns to light. The figures of judges blur. They find themselves back at the doorway above the source wall, then on the ship again, then in normal space, looking at the faint crack that hangs above Earth. Goku touches his chest. The Omega brand still burns, but beneath it, he feels the ring of cool light. He also feels something else, distant. The memory of his house, his fields, Chi-Chi's face. They are still there. For now. Batman looks at the crack. Darkseid knows something happened, Batman says. He'll test it. Superman nods. Then so will we, Superman says. On our terms, with our rules. Goku takes a breath. He feels smaller and larger at the same time. Bound and free. Let's go home, he says. Meaning Earth now as much as any other place. We've got a tyrant to stop, and a universe to keep moving. Up to now, Goku has been marked by Darkseid's Omega brand, faced his own twisted mirror, stood before the source, and accepted a hard law. He can use his highest power to save this universe, but each time, he will lose pieces of his old life while a ring of light slows Darkseid's reach through his soul. The ship glides back toward Earth. The breach over the planet is thinner now, wrapped in faint bands of pale light only a few eyes can see. It still leaks, but slowly. Darkseid's red stain in space hangs off to one side like a bruise. Goku stands by the viewing pane, hands resting on the frame. He watches Earth grow larger, blue, white, green, busy and loud, even from here. Superman steps up beside him. Feels different, Goku says quietly. Like, I'm coming home, but not the same home as before. Superman nods. You chose to bind yourself here, he says. That changes things. It changed me too, long ago, when I chose Earth over the stars. Goku touches his chest. The brand burns under his palm. The new ring's cool weight wraps it, not soft, but steady. I can still remember my world, Goku says. Mostly, but some bits feel far, like they're behind fog. Batman's voice comes from behind them. That fog will thicken every time you use full Ultra Instinct, Batman says. Let's make sure we only ask for that when we absolutely need it. Goku smiles without turning. You always sound like that, Goku asks. Or is this special for me? That's the friendly version, the Flash says from a nearby seat. Be thankful. The ship's comm crackles. League, comes Cyborg's voice from the watchtower. We have a situation. Darkseid's testing the new setup. Again. The view shifts as sensor data overlays Earth. Tiny red points light up across the planet. Screens, networks, towers, satellites, all pulsing with a slow, dark signal. Anti-life broadcast, Martian Manhunter says, brow furrowing. A low-level wave, not enough to enslave minds, but enough to spread fear, doubt, distrust. Look closer, Batman says. The red points cluster around images of one figure. Goku. In news feeds, on hacked billboards, in twisted footage, Goku's arrival is shown as a disaster. His blast is cut to look wild. His fights are slowed to show collateral damage. Words run underneath. Alien threat. Saiyan time bomb. Who watches the gods? Amanda Waller appears on a small screen in the ship. This is not my doing, Waller says, face tight. Some of my systems were hacked. Darkseid's signal is using our own fear. It's making people look at your new friend and ask if he's worth the risk. Goku watches his own face on the feed. He sees the wild joy when a fight gets hard. He sees the damage in the background. "I do look scary," he says softly. Superman's jaw tightens. "You scare the right people," Superman says. Darkseid, Desaad, anyone who wants to erase choice. The rest? We can talk to them. We can show them who you really are. Waller's eyes shift, like she can see all of them at once. "The world deserves to know the rules," Waller says. "You went to the source. You made a deal. I want it clear. If we're going to have a Saiyan walking around with a god mark in his chest, I want a charter, a mandate, lines we all can see." Batman nods. "She's right," Batman says. "We need more than trust and handshakes. We need a code for you, Goku. One the world understands, and one you choose." Goku looks from Batman to Superman to Wonder Woman. "Feels like I just left a court," he says. "Now we're making another." "Welcome to Earth," Wonder Woman says gently. "We always have another court." The Watchtower's main hall fills. League members line the walls. Green lanterns hover above. Representatives from Atlantis, Themyscira, New Genesis, and even a Guardian of Oa stand in small clusters. Waller attends through a secure holofeed, along with the President and other leaders. In the center stand Goku and the core Justice League. A large screen shows 3 simple symbols: an open door, a lone figure, a shield with many hands. "The source gave me limits," Goku says, voice steady but rough. "I can't jump between universes anymore. If I use my highest power, I lose bits of my old life. That's the law now." He looks up at the 3 symbols. "But there's still a choice," he says. "How I stand in this world." The room quiets. The air hums. Light gathers around Goku's head. For a moment, the Watchtower fades. He stands alone in a white space, the symbols floating in front of him, deeper and more real. The voice of the source whispers in his mind. "You accepted my ring," the voice says. "But your stance within this story is not yet fixed. 3 paths. See them. Choose." The first symbol glows. The open door. Vision takes him. He sees himself standing on a small farm. Mountains rise in the distance. The sky is a clear, deep blue. He knows this place, his world, his home. Chi-Chi calls his name from the house. Gohan laughs somewhere off to the side. Garten runs past his legs, little feet kicking up dust. Beerus and Wise float above a nearby hill, arguing about food. Goku feels the sun on his face. In the distance, the breach above Earth fades like a healing scar. Darkseid's war monolith hangs back, watching, but not attacking. The Justice League fights on without him. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, all older, harder. They win some battles, they lose others. Cities fall and are rebuilt. Darkseid never gets the Saiyan key he wanted, but he finds other ways to push the wall. Goku trains. He fights threats in his own universe. He grows stronger. He keeps his memories. He holds his family close. But sometimes, late at night, he feels a faint ache in his chest. He looks up and sees a crack in the sky that is not his. He hears faint cries, half remembered. He can't reach them. "You return," the voice says. "You keep your past. You leave this story to the ones born in it. Darkseid's path is slower without you, but he still walks. This universe pays its own price. Your burden is smaller. Your questions never end." The second symbol glows, the lone figure. Another vision. He sees himself in the sky above Earth. No league at his side, no flags, no emblems. He moves from crisis to crisis, a blur of orange and blue. When Darkseid's forces appear, he hits them before anyone else can. He smashes monoliths. He tears down fields. He uses ultra instinct whenever his gut says danger, not when any council votes. Each time, memories fade. First the taste of certain foods, then the sound of familiar voices, then faces. He grows more and more like a force of nature, less like a person. Governments fear him. Waller builds counters. Batman tries to coordinate with him. But Goku keeps moving, following his own sense of right. Sometimes he saves millions. Sometimes his blows shatter things plans had counted on. The Justice League splits. Some stand with him. Some stand against his methods. Darkseid watches, amused. He does not need to break the wall. The world breaks itself arguing about the Saiyan who will not be bound. You act as free agent, the voice says. You keep most of your power. You burn your memories faster. You scare tyrants and leaders alike. Control shifts from Darkseid to you. This universe trades one wild god for another. The third symbol glows, the shield with many hands, a last vision. He sees a hall, the same watchtower, but older, fuller. Banners hang with many symbols, the S, the bat, the Amazon eagle, the League star, and a new mark, a circle around a flame, half earth, half Saiyan. Goku stands with the others at a long table. They talk before every big strike. They listen. They argue. They vote. Sometimes they call for him to hold back, even when his fists itch. Sometimes they ask him to rise higher than he wants and pay the memory price. He does both. He forgets his world slowly, piece by piece. But when he drifts, his friends pull him back. Barry's notebooks, Batman's files, Wonder Woman's stories, small moments on the watchtower, shared meals, training sessions, jokes. New memories fill the space. Darkseid attacks again and again, but each time he hits a wall of heroes, not just one Saiyan. The ring slows his reach. The League learns his tricks. New generations rise under the shield symbol. The world does not become safe. It becomes brave. You serve under sanction, the voice says. You accept law and oversight. Your strength is focused by others' judgment. You lose much of your past. You gain a place in this story that stands when Darkseid's shadow falls. You are not above this world. You are of it. The visions fade. The watchtower returns. Everyone is watching Goku. He takes a breath. Okay, he says. Here it is. He points at the open door symbol first. I'm not going back, he says. I miss my world already. I miss my family. But I made this mess when I broke the wall. Walking away now would feel like leaving a fight halfway through. That's not me. He points at the lone figure. I'm not going to be a free agent, he says. I'd mess things up. I know that. I like fighting too much. I'd start making calls based on good hits, not good plans. You'd have to stop me. Darkseid would love that. He lifts his hand toward the shield symbol. I choose to fight with you, he says. Under your rules, under this universe's law. I'll be your sanctioned Saiyan, I guess. The League members look at each other. Works for me, the Flash says, relief in his voice. We'll get you a badge, or a cool jacket. Batman nods once. Then we write the rules, Batman says. The charter is born in a storm. Alarms blare as Darkseid makes his move. The war monolith reappears near the breach, rebuilt and meaner. Beams of dark light lance toward Earth, carrying anti-life scripts and anti-Kai threads. Parademon fleets surge from hidden boom tubes near Mars and deep in Earth's oceans. At the same time, governments panic. Missiles arm, satellites aim. Some leaders demand they fire at the monolith, others at Goku. The watchtower shakes as energy waves hit its shields. In the middle of the chaos, Batman stands at the central console, typing. Hurry, Waller says over the comm. If you want public support for your Saiyan, now is the time. I'm aware, Batman says. Lines of text appear on every major screen tied into League networks and world systems. Sanctioned Saiyan protocol. Read it out, Wonder Woman says, voice amplified. Batman nods and does. Clause 1, Batman says. Goku is bound to this universe's defense, not its rule. He acts only with Justice League mandate on global threats, except in direct, immediate danger to civilians where there is no time to call. Goku nods. Easy, he says. If people are about to die and you're not on the line, I move. If there's time, I wait. Clause 2, Batman continues. No lethal force from Goku against any being below cosmic threat level without League consensus. Cosmic threat level includes Darkseid, his direct avatars, and beings judged by the League and allied cosmic authorities. Wonder Woman adds her voice. This protects us and him, she says. He will not be used as a weapon of fear against smaller foes. His fist is for giants. Clause 3, Batman says. Full Ultra Instinct deployment, what the Source Ring touches, is reserved for 3 conditions. A. Darkseid or equal level entity in direct assault on Earth or the Wall. B. Breach stability at risk of total failure. C. Vote of 3 core League members plus 1 cosmic ally. Superman speaks now. And when we make that call, Superman says, we do it knowing what he pays. We take that weight. We don't forget it. Ever. Clause 4, Batman says. Memory loss effects from Ultra Instinct use are to be tracked and mitigated. The League will keep records of Goku's past, old and new, and share them with him as needed. He will not be left adrift. The Flash nods, clutching a thick notebook. I already started, Barry says. Volume 1. Stuff Goku likes. Clause 5, Batman finishes. If Goku's brand and ring ever show signs of Darkseid gaining full control, the League, New Genesis, and the Guardians are authorized to act. Containment. Neutralization if there is no other way. Goku agrees to this. The room goes still. Goku breathes in once. I agree, he says. If I become a door, Darkseid can walk through whenever he wants. You stop me. I don't want that. Ever. Waller's image looks almost satisfied. That will play well, she says. You put your own neck on the line. People like that, or at least respect it. Outside, Darkseid's assault grows. The war monolith sends a main beam toward the breach, trying to smash through the Source Ring's bands. The crack glows brighter, lines of Omega energy crawling along its edge. This talk is good, Aquaman says, bracing as the station lurches. But unless your charter can punch that cube, we're dead. Superman looks at Goku. Time to test the new law, Superman says. Goku nods. Let's go, he says. The final battle opens above Earth. The war monolith hangs like a dark star, beams lashing out. Parademons swarm. Anti-life codes crawl along the edges of the breach like black vines. The Justice League forms up in the classic shape, a line in front of the planet. Superman floats at the center. To his left, Batman in a space-capable suit. Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Martian Manhunter. To his right, the Flash inside a lantern bubble, Cyborg, Green Lanterns, New Genesis fighters, Atlantean warships, and just forward of the line, at point, Goku. It is their iconic moment. The world watches through hacked but now recovered feeds. The twisted images Darkseid spread are replaced with a new picture. Heroes shoulder to shoulder, with a Saiyan at the front, not above. Darkseid's voice rolls out from the war monolith. You wrap your weapon in rules, Darkseid says. You chain your strongest hand. I applaud your foolishness. It makes my work easier. Goku cups his hands at his side. He does not gather full power yet. He shapes a small, tight glow. "I'm not your weapon," Goku says. "I'm our shield." Darkseid steps out onto a platform on the monolith surface. His eyes blaze. "You are my door," Darkseid says. "No ring can change that. But let us test your new laws. Let us see what you are willing to pay." He raises his arms. Anti-life ripples out, not as a mind control wave, but as a weight. On Earth below, people feel tired, hopeless. They look at the sky and think, it's useless. We can't fight a god. Screens flicker with words, give up, obey, rest. The ring around Goku's brand tightens. He feels the pull. He also feels the choice. He looks back at his friends. Superman's jaw is set. Wonder Woman's sword is raised. Batman's eyes are sharp behind his mask. The Flash looks scared but ready. Lanterns glow brighter. Orion's engine roars. 3 conditions, Batman says in his ear. Darkseid is here. The breach is at risk. You have my yes. You have mine, Wonder Woman says. And mine, Superman says. A Guardian's thin voice follows. Oa agrees, the Guardian says. Use the ring, Saiyan. Goku closes his eyes. He thinks of Chi-Chi's face. It is still clear, but a little blurry at the edges. He thinks of Gohan, Goten, his old house, his fields. He thinks of Metropolis, of small kids looking up at the sky. He thinks of both worlds. He smiles. Okay, he whispers, for all of you. He opens his eyes. Kaioken. The old red aura wraps around his base form, layered over the calm silver glow building inside. It strains his muscles, but not to the breaking point. It is less than he has done before, but enough. He stacks it carefully. Then he reaches for Ultra Instinct. The ring around the brand flares white. The brand explodes in pain. And then the ring catches it, holds it, turns the flood inward and up instead of out toward Darkseid. Goku's hair glows silver white. His eyes shine. His aura blooms, but not as wide as it once did. It clings close, a bright storm held tight around his body. He feels something tear in his mind. A name slips away. He can't remember the name of his village. He holds on to Chi-Chi, Gohan, Goten, Vegeta, Piccolo, Beerus, Whiz. They flicker, but stay. Still me, he says through his teeth. Still here. The ring hums. Darkseid feels the blow, but only faintly. A clever muzzle, Darkseid says. You pay, and I see only outlines. Very well, play your game. He fires Omega beams. They twist, turn, reach. Goku moves. Ultra Instinct sings through his muscles, guided by rules he now respects. He does not dodge just for himself. He dodges toward angles that protect others. He lets one beam skim his side so it misses a lantern. He diverts another with a flick that sends it into empty space instead of into the watchtower. Every move is a choice, not just a reflex. He instant transmissions in short jumps, not long rips. Within the story, not beyond it. He appears in front of the War Monolith's main cannon. Let's see how your cube likes this, he says. He gathers his key. Smaller than the biggest he has ever done, still huge. The ring tightens, more memories strain. He feels the smell of his favorite food slip. He lets it go. He pours what he has left into his hands. Came. Haim. Below, Earth watches the glow rising in the sky. People feel the weight pressing on their hearts suddenly ease just a little as they see him stand against that black cube. Ha! The beam roars out. Blue-white, edged in silver, wrapped in the faintest band of source light. It hits the monolith's main cannon and pushes in. Darkseid laughs once. You will crack the wall, he says. Even with your ring, you cannot change the nature of your power. He feeds anti-life into the monolith, pushing back against the Kamehameha. The beams grind against each other. Goku's arms shake. His mind blanks. He feels more memories tear free and spin off into nowhere. He doesn't know what he's losing now, only that pieces of himself are going. "Goku!" Superman shouts. He rockets up beside the beam, flying parallel to it, adding his own heat vision as a red stream alongside the blue. Wonder Woman throws her lasso, wrapping it around Goku's waist, and the beam itself, channeling divine truth into the blast, turning some of the raw power into meaning. "Remember why you fight," she calls. Batman, in the watchtower, triggers a plan. "Now," he says. Green lanterns form a giant cone around the endpoint of the beam, focusing it tighter. Cyborg hacks into the monolith's side systems, flipping some of its anti-key logic back on itself. New Genesis weapons fire at the same point, spearing along the beam's spine. The Flash runs inside a lantern bubble along the length of the beam, vibrating the air, breaking up the anti-life patterns that try to ride it. The Kamehameha brightens. Darkseid's eyes narrow. He feels the push. For the first time, he steps back. The cannon cracks. The war monolith shakes. "You make a chorus," Darkseid says. "You think power shared is stronger than power focused. You are fools." The monolith tries one last counterpulse. The breach flares. The wall glows. The ring around Goku's brand screams in his soul. He shoves. Not alone. With everyone. The beam punches through. The main cannon explodes in a white-black burst that does not spread but implodes, collapsing inward. The monolith's front half crumples. Its spines break. Its grip on the breach slips. Omega symbols shatter. Anti-life code tears. Darkseid stands in the wreckage, cloak torn, eyes blazing. "You delay the sum," Darkseid says. "You do not change it." He raises his hand, ready to send a killing blast straight at Goku. He stops. Something unseen holds his arm. Light washes over the battlefield. The source wall shines like a second sun. No words this time, just pressure. The ruins of the monolith are dragged backward, away from the breach, toward a new patch of glowing stone on the wall's surface. Darkseid snarls. "You would bind me," he says. "You cannot. I am..." The light tightens. He is not sealed, but a chain wraps around his reach, shortens it. From now on, his ability to touch the breach, to push anti-key and anti-life through that specific scar, is limited. He can still send armies. He can still scheme. He cannot use the Saiyan as a full door. "For now," he growls. He steps back into a boom tube that snaps closed. The battle ends. Parademons fall or flee. Anti-life scripts melt off Earth's networks, cleared by lantern light and Cyborg's code. The breach shrinks to a thin line, glowing soft gold where the ring's work shows. Goku floats in silence. His aura fades. Ultra Instinct drops. Kaioken fades. He sags. Superman catches him. "I'm okay," Goku says. "I think." He looks into his own mind. He can still feel the shape of his old world. But it is like a picture at the end of a long hallway. He can't remember his school, the name of his first teacher, the taste of a certain meal. A dozen small moments are gone. Chi-Chi's face is still there. So are Gohan's, Goten's, Vegeta's, Piccolo's, Beerus's, Whice's. They flicker, but hold. "For now," he murmurs. "Did we win?" the Flash asks, drifting over in his bubble. "We stopped this attack," Wonder Woman says. "We cut Darkseid's fingers from the breach. That is a win." "More than that," Batman says, looking at sensor data. "We changed the rules. The ring works. The brand is still there, but Darkseid's line is shorter. He'll have to find a new angle." Goku breathes out, long and slow. He looks down at Earth. He feels tired in a way training never gave him. He also feels rooted, like some part of his Kai went out with that beam and did not come back. It stayed, woven into the ring around the breach, part of the law now. In the days that follow, the world talks. News shows replay the moment the heroes lined up in front of Earth. They replay Goku's beam firing from a tight, controlled stance. They run Batman's charter lines. They show Waller's hard agreement and the president's somber speech. We live in a universe of gods and monsters, the president says on screen. We survived not because we are the strongest, but because we set rules, stand together, and accept costs. Today, a man from another universe chose to bind himself to our laws and pay a personal price to protect us. We will hold him to those laws. We will also honor that choice. Kids in Metropolis draw pictures. On walls and in notebooks, new team shots appear. Superman and Goku fist-bumping. Wonder Woman and Goku training with wooden swords. The Flash racing Goku on a track. Grown-ups argue. Some say no being should have that much power. Some say they would not be alive without it. Most learn the words Sanctioned Saiyan and sleep a little easier knowing there are rules. On Apocalypse, Darkseid sits on his throne. Desaad kneels below. The brand holds, Desaad says. The ring slows us, but not forever. Each time he uses that state, he gives up a little more. Sooner or later, he will forget why he fights. Then he will be easier to bend. Darkseid's red eyes flicker. He chose law over freedom, Darkseid says. Chain over chaos. In time, that chain will press. He will wonder if his sacrifice was worth it. All I must do is wait for doubt. He lifts his hand. A new shape appears in the air. A rough statue of Goku, cracked down the middle. One side bright, one side dark. Heroes think in battles, Darkseid says. I think in ages. The Saiyan is interesting ink. The story is not done. He smiles, thin and cold. Let them enjoy their small victory, Darkseid says. I have learned enough for now. In the watchtower, on a quiet night, Goku and Superman sit by a window. Stars burn outside. Earth spins slowly below. Goku chews on something from a plate. He frowns. I know this is good, he says, but I can't remember what it tastes like back home. Just that I liked it. Superman sips coffee. I can't remember my home planet at all, Superman says. Just fragments, pictures, stories my parents told me. Krypton is gone. I built a life here. Goku looks at him. Does it hurt? Goku asks. Yes, Superman says. And no, I miss something I barely knew, but I love what I have now. Both can be true. Goku nods slowly. I remember more than you, he says. For now. But every time I go all out, I'll lose pieces. That's scary. Superman smiles soft. You won't face it alone, he says. We'll remind you. We'll tell you about your world if you forget, and we'll make sure every time you pay that price, it means something. Goku grins, a little brighter. Deal, he says. You keep my past safe. I'll keep your planet safe. They bump fists. Outside, the thin gold edge crack above Earth glows, then dims, stable for now. Down in Metropolis, a kid stands on a rooftop at night. She holds a homemade cardboard sign with two symbols drawn in marker, an S and a rough circle around a little flame. Her father stands beside her, nervous but smiling. You really think they can see that from up there? He asks. The girl squints at the sky. Superman can, she says, and the new guy, the one with the spiky hair. My teacher says he's dangerous, but he saved my friend. That counts more. She lifts the sign higher. If you can see this, she whispers, thank you. Up above, Goku's head turns. He cannot see every rooftop sign, but he feels something. A small, bright key signature. Steady, Brave. He smiles. Yeah, he says to himself. Worth it. Codex note. The Sanctioned Saiyan Protocol, signed by the Justice League, recognized by Earth's nations, and witnessed by the Source-aligned powers, binds Son Goku as a lawful, high-tier defender of this DC universe, free to act under clear rules, paying memory for power, while Darkseid's mark remains caged, but never fully gone.